Hip-hop and video games usually create a varying degree of genres, whether it's a rhythm game, fighting game, or even a sports game. Many have embraced the culture, whether it's name recognition on brands or rappers, as well as showing love to the b-boy culture. But today we're going to talk about graffiti, something that seems to be more underground now, as well as an art form that gets very stigmatized. Regardless, there is no denying that graffiti culture played a huge role in hip-hop, especially during its humble beginnings. Now, you may be asking, what does this have to do with video games? The answer is simple, because in 2006, a collaboration between Marc Ecko and The Collective, a team that was founded by former Virgin Interactive people, created Marc Ecko's Getting Up, Contents Under Pressure. Originally titled Project Raspberry, it started as some sort of an animation project. As years went by, it shifted to a video game project as Marc was getting into debt. With the help of the collective and Atari, Marc didn't necessarily envision a game about hip-hop, but more about its graffiti culture along with New York culture. Since the team was located in California, Marc even took them to New York, but not in like regular New York, but more like the subways of New York and the rooftops of New York, so the team could get a better vision of what he wanted for this said game. And I gotta say, in the long run, the world building really did benefit the team, because Getting Up has shown a very gritty world. So much so it even benefited the story too, as the story is about a mayor who's trying to govern in an Orwellian style, and you as a character is trying to make a big name of yourself through the words of graffiti, and obviously the mayor doesn't like that, so he does everything as he can to stop it. Kinda like how the real world, where we try to get rid of graffiti overall. Adding on to that, Marc Ecko directed and wrote the story, and he was also in charge of the music direction with Sean Diddy Combs, and I gotta say the music did play a huge role to fit in this very gritty metropolis, and it just gave so much life, where in so many other games, like there's no life in that world, but in this one, thankfully with the music, it has helped a lot. Along with that, the voice cast was pretty cool. It consisted of Tyler Qualley as the main character, The RZA, MC Sarge, Andy Dick, Adam West, Charlie Murphy, Rosario Dawson, and some graffiti legends like T-Kid and Futura, to name a few. As great as that sounds, what about the gameplay? It's a hybrid of genres, because it's a beat 'em up mainly, but it also has aspects of stealth and platforming. Beat 'em up because that's how combat it is with enemies, and then stealth because certain levels you could technically complete without being known, despite the AI being a bit weird on those parts. Then the platforming, for the fact that if you want to do certain graffiti pieces, you would have to get on top of a lot of buildings, or you have, like, if you want to get on a billboard, you literally have to find a way to get up there. Then to do the graffiti is very simple. All you gotta do is follow the outline of the piece you're trying to do, and bam, you have a piece right there. There are also a variety of types of graffiti you can do, like one with a marker, how you can post posters, use a stencil, and even do a mural. One thing to emphasize though is when doing a graffiti, it can be a little bit slow paced, kinda like real life, but because if you do it too fast, you'll create drips and thus the piece will look very sloppy. With that being said, what happened? Because there's a lot of big names behind this project, and control wise it's not bad at all. Almost feels like the game kinda just came and then went out of nowhere as time went by. The game was met with mixed reception. Some hate it, some love it, and I gotta say I understand where they're coming from. Yeah, it's not perfect. Yes, there's some glitches here and there. Camera can definitely be annoying, and the combat can be sometimes jank. But other than that, it's a lot more playable than many things out in the market at the moment. Another reason why it could have flopped would be because when it was released, the 360 and PS3 were around the corner, and also the ideal thing for video games at the moment was open world games, and I felt that really impacted Getting Up, because Getting Up was a linear level based game, and at the time, people were like, that's old news. Also, it doesn't help that the game met with a few controversies, such as getting it banned in Australia just for the content it was about, which was graffiti. Not many people liked that idea, so much so that Mike Bloomberg, mayor of New York back then, tried to ban an event that was supposed to promote the game. Even with all that behind it, as the years passed by, the game has slowly gained cult status, with Marc Ecko tweeting that there might be a sequel soon, but let's be honest, that might not be for a long time, just because that man is busy. Still, the game is available on Steam from my understanding, and yeah, you can still get a physical copy, but I think the price is shooting up, especially with all the licensed stuff that's in the game. Regardless, it's still a celebrated game for many folks, especially for the hip-hop culture.
Game over, yeah!
My name is Kobe, and I thank you for watching.